What subjects are we going to touch today? Some pretty good ones. All right, let's jump into it. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the One Couch Podcast. I believe this is episode 8. Yeah. So if you didn't already notice, I am by myself today. Solo episode. And I did want to make another episode with Boncho, but he is currently out of town. And also, I have a big list of subjects, and I know we're not going to touch all of them when he comes by and we make an episode. So I figured, why not make an episode on my own and, touch some of these subjects, some pretty interesting subjects. They're like theories, and, we'll try to touch on some, trending topics and everything. But, yeah. Also, I want to, get comfortable with making episodes on my own more, so I don't have to rely on people to come over, and I can't make an episode until I have someone over. And I don't know why, but I've recently noticed that there are people that make podcast episodes by themselves, and it's a normal thing. Solo podcasts. I guess it's just a stereotype of seeing 2 people or 3 people on a podcast, and them having a conversation and it looks all cool and all that, but that's not where podcasts originated. It was originally one person with a mic, with just conversating. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're just gonna conversate, and like I said, I'd like to get a little more adjusted to making solo episodes, so I don't have to rely on people for the One Couch podcast. It's called the One Couch. Actually, you know what? Boncho wanted to call the podcast One Couch, 2 guys, 1 couch, right? So if I did that, then it would have to be 2 guys, 1 couch. I'm glad, you see, that's why I called it One Couch, because the main point is 1 couch. It doesn't matter how many people are on 1 couch. Well, screw it. We might make an episode with no people someday. So, all right. My review on the Backrooms movie, I saw people hating it. I saw some people really being like, man, this sucks. But you know what? You can't please everybody. Obviously, you're going to get bad reviews. But my personal opinion, I really liked the movie. I really loved the way it came out. It was amazing. It was really well made. The acting was really good by some really good actors and actresses. But yeah, the fact that it was made by a 20-year-old is super inspirational. I'm a 20-year-old myself, and I'd love to get into films like that. So to see work like that on the big screen directed by a 20-year-old is super inspirational. So at first, my number one critique about this movie was the ending. And I was like, what the hell happened? Like, I was super confused. I did watch a bit of videos breaking down the story, and it made me realize that, it only sets up for more and a huge, what's the word? It only sets up a huge franchise to come. Because it did have a hollow ending. It had a very confusing, cut down the middle kind of ending. And I was a bit irritated about that. I was like, damn, it just ended like that. I don't know why, but I was kind of hoping the characters would make it out alive, or some kind of satisfying ending. But not all stories have a good ending. And, I feel like that's what made the story interesting. It gave it a really eerie, damn, And like I said, it only sets up a franchise. It sets up, more stuff to come for the Backrooms, franchise or whatever. So overall, I think there wasn't really a problem with the movie. I feel like there's a certain scene where Clark, the main character, goes into the Backrooms, and I feel like that's the longest scene. You have to have good attention span, otherwise it's gonna lose you. You're gonna get bored or whatever. Other than that, the rest was intense. The vibe was there. To see the Backrooms in, the big screen was amazing. I loved everything about it. Like I said, it was really well made, and I don't understand the critique that it's getting. It's really good. It's really good. But yeah, I would have to give the Backrooms movie like a brutal, like an 8 out of 10. That's me being brutal. I'd love to give it a 10 out of 10, but, like I said, there was some slow moments. There was the ending, but, I've grown to understand also, hold on. Also, I've, for the longest time, I've wanted to understand what the Backrooms is and how it began and how it was made. And apparently, it was made by a CT scan company. And, a CT scan, it makes layers and copies of your body, puts it together, and that's how you get, I believe, an X-ray or whatever, right? And that is how they accidentally created the Backrooms. It made copies and, layers of the said Backrooms. And honestly, that is, mind-blowing. It's so interesting because I thought to myself, how were these Backrooms made? I can't imagine how they were made. But yeah, I mean, I want to watch the movie again for sure. I feel like I'll really enjoy it and understand a little more now that I've seen some breakdowns and everything on the movie. But yes, 8 out of 10 on the Backrooms movie. Really good. Shout out Kane Parsons, such an inspiration. And I can't wait to see what is to come for the future. You know what I really hate? What I absolutely despise, but there is no controlling it, there is no stopping it, is the brand new slangs and, terms of the new generation. There are a lot of new slangs that are really, annoying. For example, the most recent one is LARPing. And I don't really exactly know what it means. I think I found out what it was, but I completely forgot because I don't care. But it is so annoying hearing those words and people just bringing them out of nowhere. And yeah, now it's a saying. Now you just have to embrace it. It's everywhere. It's it makes me cringe. LARPing. Am I being stupid? But that word wasn't it was okay. Maybe it was a word, but it wasn't a thing before this. Now they just bring it out just because they feel like it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Some other words, I have them noted down. I'm crying. Spelled out CRINE. What is that? I'm crying. That shit makes me cringe. You can't just invent new shit. You know what I mean? I've seen some people do justice and call him out. What the hell are you doing, bro? Crying. It's dumb. I don't know why I hate it so much. It's such a terrible thing. Another TS. I don't know if it's this shit or this, but they just pulled that out of nowhere. Some slangs that have been around for maybe a couple years now that I would say I've caught myself saying them is, I don't know if you guys remember when Riz was created. That, I hated it at first. I mean, I still hate it, but it's just that's the term now. I've heard someone say, what are these slangs? What happened to game? Oh, you got game. Nah, no one says that now. They say, oh, you got Riz. And I fucking hate it. Or aw, as in for example, goofy ass or something like that. They say goofy aw. And I mean, those terms just came out of nowhere. What else? Glazing, that's the term that came out. Ball. I guess that was a little bit of a term too, but not much like the others. I've seen ba going around a lot. A lot of Latinos using it. Oh, nah, you're good, bar, or something like that, or we on that bar, or something like that. And I don't really like it. I don't know if it's just between the Latinos, because, ba is kind of like a Latino word, like pa, like father. I don't know what they mean by pa. I'm pretty sure they mean like homie or like bro or something like that. But yeah, these terms, they gotta go, bruh. They gotta go. I feel like, the internet would be like a much better place if they were just gone. Cause, holy, like these slangs just came out of nowhere and like they're super corny. Like I feel like, no, like there's people trying to spread more new slangs, and they're trying, but it just like, stop. This is not it. This is terrible. I hate it. It's dumb. It's cringe. It's corny. Let's just stop it here. Okay, so when it comes to YouTubers, I've seen this around everywhere that people, let's say per se, okay, the most successful YouTubers or influencers per se, they are hated. Like the ones that are like, there's like a level between like, famous, like as an influencer, and like low-key a celebrity. And have you noticed that those YouTubers that like kind of surpassed that influencer stage and are now a celebrity are like, people hate them a lot, and they claim that they sold their soul, that they're lifeless, that they are a part of the Illuminati or whatever. For example, we have like Mr. Beast. People say that, oh, he definitely sold his soul. He definitely, is lifeless. You look at his face, he looks so lifeless. Or recently, I've been seeing a lot about Speed, that he definitely sold his soul, that, he made a deal, that he is a plant. Or Logan Paul. We've seen what people have said about Logan Paul, but I'm here to defend them, because when it comes to influencers and YouTubers and stuff like that, streamers or whatever, that is the beauty of the influencers. I feel like they made it on their own. They like made the content and they gained an audience on a platform by themselves. That's the difference between a normal celebrity and an influencer. Because like those actors and musicians and everything, you just never know with them. I'm not here to say that they for sure sold their soul, but you just never know what kind of industries they get themselves into. That's why I feel like people hate influencers, because they get that shit on their own. They do that shit on their own. I feel like Speed, the numbers that he does is unfathomable. Like, and I don't know for certain, but I think he did it on his own. I don't think he sold his soul. I think it was all done under his hands, and he didn't have to sell his soul for something like that. And that's why it angers people. And then that's why they just go out and about and say he sold his soul. But you do realize that guys like Speed, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast, they worked their asses off for what they, not to say that other celebrities didn't, but, like most influencers don't have connections like that. They don't have big TV programs. They don't have huge companies to sign to and stuff like that, which, I guess that's a way of them selling their soul. Not necessarily has to be like them making the deal with like the devil or something like that, but, these influencers, I think it's safe to say they did it on their own. That's why people are fucking mad. But yeah, that's what I love about the whole, influencer thing. And, I feel like that's the beauty behind it, that, they are like, if you ask any of them, they literally just started from their home, just grinding, working their asses off, and, earning what they, yeah, I don't know. So apparently there's a company out there that is working on a device to allow your dog to be able to speak. What kind of sci-fi movie shit is that, bro? Kind of like the dog from Up. They kind of predicted it. It's literally a device that goes around their neck, and I guess they're using AI technology or something like that to be able to, I guess, speak for them. Literally speak for them. And that is mind-blowing to me. Like, the technology today is scary. It's scary. Like, do you guys remember that company that was gonna make daylight? Like, you can order daylight at night, like straight from satellites, and then just point straight to like a little point. That, I mean, I haven't heard an update since, so I don't know if it was cap or not, but that is insane. That is insane. Ordering daylight, talking dogs, or not even just dogs. I'm pretty sure it would be other animals too. That'd be crazy. Imagine speaking to your own pet. Wow. That would like I've always thought it was crazy how smart dogs or like pets are. And to think that like they'll be able to speak and communicate with you is like mind blowing. Like, I don't know if you like really take a second to think about that. Pets that will be able to speak to you. What the frick? Like, the technology today is like slowly taking over. And when I heard that like robots or AI is gonna take over the world someday, you would think a Terminator looking robot is gonna come and enslave humans or kill humans or whatever. But if you realize the toll that it's taking on people today, people will see something that's edited or something that doesn't look realistic, even though sometimes it even is, and they'll call it AI. They will be like, that is AI. Like, for example, I made a short where I made like a little satire where I was I think it was like a shockwave from Fortnite, right? And I threw it, and it blew me away or whatever. And I edited it like I got blown away. And the comments were just spammed with like AI. It's straight AI. Have we not heard of like editing? Have we not, like, it's frying people's brains, and it's ridiculous. It's I hate when people say it's AI. People be calling AI like anything AI. And it's so dumb and annoying. I hate it. And not only that, but the scary things that can be done with AI, from scamming to nudity, or like, I've seen fucking like celebrities get leaked, but it's not them, and just imagine how uncomfortable the celebrities feel, and to get a call from one of your loved ones and to think it's them, it sounds like them, and it's not them. What type of shit is that? That is ridiculous. It's scary. I don't know if I already talked about this on the podcast, but I heard a story recently where some lady got a call from her daughter that was supposed to be at school. And it was a scammer. It was a scammer with her daughter's voice through AI. And it was like, oh, open the door. I came home early, this and that. And they checked the little people, or I think the Ring cam or whatever, and there was no one there. There was no one there. It was a lie. It was AI. She called her daughter, she was actually at school. And that is terrifying. I don't think you guys understand how terrifying that actually is. And let's say maybe it's not enough to fool people. We have elderly people too. that, you know, can get terribly scammed, you know, because some elderly people don't know any better, you know. And, you know, the scamming with elderly people is already bad enough. Imagine those trippy AI voices or pictures, videos, whatever it is. I don't understand why companies are making more AI technology. Like, they're just making life harder. Like, I don't comprehend it. They're like, oh, we just came up with a new AI, this, that. That's just taking jobs. It's just, you know, allowing dangerous tools to be out there. And it's scary. It's scary. It's only getting worse by the year, by the months. And I don't think it's going to stop anytime sooner. Okay, if you struggle with procrastination, whereas of you can't get work done, you're always like procrastinating, you know? I want to give you a bit of advice, something that has really helped me out and worked for me. Because for me, procrastinating is so common and so easy. Like, I've caught myself ready to work on something and, you know, I just continue scrolling and I stay there for hours. And it's painful because there are a lot of things that I like to do. I like to, you know, create music. I like to create film. I like to create videos, shorts, everything, you know, really get creative. And I procrastinate. But something that I recently learned that really took me to the next level in, you know, to not procrastinate is to, let's see. First lesson of all, never prepare in your work time. Whereas of like, if you have the time to work right now, work, obviously. But no. Scratch that. Write down notes, prepare, make a list, make a little schedule. And once you have that template, that blueprint, and now it's your work time, you have essentially a guidebook on what to do. And you just follow it step by step. Like with me, I would procrastinate so much and I wouldn't get shit done. But when I would do my morning shifts, I would write down a little mini list of to-do lists, what I'm going to do. And then once I got home, I had time to work and I had that little to-do list. So now I have a blueprint of what to do. Boom, I got so much work done. And, you know, eventually it started to slow down a little. And, you know, that's not a surprise, but it really grew a mindset for me. Like I said, it took me to the next level. And, you know, I'm not doing it to this day, but it did teach me a lesson. And now I have a completely different mindset. And I'm getting a lot of work done. And I'm doing a lot of things. And it's such a good thing. You know, that's the main lesson on how not to procrastinate. Never prepare on your work time because it confuses you. It feels like it's too much, or, you know, I don't know. It's try that out for yourself and see if it could work out. Write down some notes on your spare time. Maybe a little mini to-do list. And also, the more you actually complete those little mini quests, you gain more confidence and trust in yourself because you know, completed the list. And, you know, it's just so beneficial, you know, in terms of getting the work done, your mindset. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful thing. But yeah. Okay, the last subject. This is something that is like, it might seem like I'm mad just because we're not getting a trailer, but like truly it's so annoying. The Doomsday trailer. It got revealed about 2-3 months ago at the CinemaCon, and no word on it. No, like, it's so dumb. It pisses me off. Like, what are they doing? They have to promote the shit. They have to build up hype. They showed the trailer at the CinemaCon and left it at that. That's all she wrote. Like, not to mention the security was way too, like, doing too much. We're doing way too much. Like, what the hell do you mean lasers and like like 5 securities in each row? They did not want the trailer out there. Like, you did not have to do all that just for a damn trailer. And they should have dropped the trailer by now. They need to start building hype. And yeah, it's been months and no word on the trailer. Like, what type of shit is that? It's so dumb. I hate it. And yeah, like, they gotta get that hype train going now. They gotta build the promotion now, because, you know, like, honestly, I was one of those people that was checking Twitter each day. I was reloading TikTok, searching up. But now I kind of just gave up because, you know, it's dumb what they're doing. They're not revealing anything. They're not, you know, not even like a teaser, not even a poster, not even nothing. Like, this ain't GTA 6. Don't even get me started on GTA 6, but they didn't have to do all of that just to gatekeep a trailer. Like, I don't understand how out of like hundreds of people, or maybe I don't know, I just pulled that number out of my ass. No one leaked the trailer. Like, that is so dumb. I hate it. All right, so that's gonna do it for episode 8 of the One Couch Podcast solo episode. I think it was a pretty successful episode. We had some pretty interesting topics to touch on, but expect more episodes on the way. I want to be grinding on the whole podcasting thing more. And yeah, thank you guys for joining me on today's episode. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.